Good morning. Good morning. You, come on. Come on. Hi. Yeah, there you go. Good morning. Don't peck my eyes, please. No pecking eyes. No pecking eyes. I feel like you want to just gouge my eye out. Mm-mm. Well, you have to be careful. Fly, special friend. Whee!
Welcome to the first garden tour of 2026. I feel like I'm in a very different place than last year around this time. This time last year, this garden was just built. We poured blood, sweat, and tears into building this thing. It didn't exist this time last year. It feels like a lifetime and eternity ago. It was just a Facebook memory that came back of when our friend Jimmy flew up last year and helped us. And we set the posts and built the fence and laid the rows and mulched, and looking back, it's insane how much work that was, but obviously it's so worth it. Anyways, here we are. It's early June. It doesn't feel like it. It still feels like early May in terms of temperature, in terms of how much is growing, but alas, we're getting after it. Let's start with the oldest thing in the garden, which was planted last fall, which is garlic. I was so jealous last year, very jealous of everybody who had garlic growing. And I told myself, the fall shall not go by without getting some garlic ready for next year. So I reached out to how am I petting the garlic? Good garlic. It's so nice. I'm just leave it, Viv. I found a local garlic farmer in the area who was selling bulbs. And I was able to go pick those up from him. He gave me some really good tips. I believe this is hardneck garlic, which should produce scapes. I haven't seen any yet. It's possible that I'm wrong. Like anything, it's always just an experiment, so we'll see what happens. I planted these in November of last year, gave them a good layer of bark mulch on top. That helped insulate them for the winter, and then in the springtime, we saw little shoots. We saw little tips sprouting through the dirt, and now here they are. I will say it was great to get it from a local grower who knows this region, grows it, knows it. And just a reminder to source locally. If you're starting a garden this year or doing anything at all, what can you find in your local community before running out to a big box store? Your local farmer or farmer's market. Just reach out to people in the community first, please. This is the tomato row. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the tomatoes this year, which I think ties into an overall feeling of scarcity mindset with the garden this year. This time last year, the plants were so much bigger. I started my seeds a couple weeks earlier last year than I did this year inside. That is okay. It's not okay. Actually, it just left me with less plants overall and smaller plants overall. Couple different learnings from this year. Learning number 1. I need to invest in a seed starting setup for indoors. This is the second year that I just roughed it in a windowsill. Just because you can, does it mean you should? No, I need something with lights, proper lights to give the plants what they need. I need something with a fan for circulation and to strengthen the little seedlings, with humidity control and also just temperature control, because it was cold as heck in our basement and most of my seeds, well, a lot of my seeds didn't germinate at all. If I'm going to do it, I should just do it right, which is going to mean getting a little grow tent to set up inside with proper lighting, temperature regulation, and circulation. That's going to happen. I don't want to be in a situation going into Memorial Day weekend, sort of like I was this year, where my plants are 2 inches tall and they need to be way bigger. This is a short growing season up here, and I want to be prepared and maximize it as much as possible. So next year, we'll have a better seed starting setup indoors. We're starting very early. I'd rather have to be worrying about potting plants up, and that's a good problem to have, rather than having these tiny tomatoes. Look at this tiny thing. It's 2 inches tall. The joke's on me because I had a ton of tomatoes that I just let die and whatever. There are tomatoes everywhere. Because we had the tomatoes in the compost, seedlings are popping up everywhere. There are tomatoes growing in places all in the flower beds, in the mulch, in the this, in the that. It's like, and those tomatoes over there that I didn't even plant intentionally are bigger than the ones that I worked on for weeks inside, nurturing and fertilizing and trying to grow, and they're still microscopic, and the ones that were just born outside naturally where I didn't even ask them to are bigger. That's embarrassing. Anyways, especially because this year I have some tomato varieties that I'm very excited about. Number 1, the Gin Fizz tomato. This is an heirloom golden tomato that I'm really excited to taste. Apparently a wonderful flavor and a fun new variety. Can't wait for it. Amish paste. I have 2 or 3 Amish paste tomatoes, 2 cherry tomatoes, a black Krim tomato, and a Cherokee purple, and a Brandywine heirloom. All right, our cabbages and random assortments of things. I like the combination of growing cabbages and onions, or broccoli and onions, cauliflower, brassicas. I like it. I think they work well together. Sometimes the onions can get a little, crowded out by the giant cabbage leaves, which maybe isn't the best. Sometimes I just tuck them away, but I feel as if the onions are good pest protection. What I've learned is that plants, like us, like humans, want friends. They want companions, and they want companions that complement them. 2 big, bold personalities may not be great as best friends. Maybe you need one girly pop who's like really out there, social, and then the other one's a little bit more mild and reserved, and they complement each other. Plants can be the same. Otherwise, see what I mean? Here's a tomato. Here's a tomato that's just as big as the ones that I have been working on as indoor seedlings for months. Joke's on me. Okay, what a fool. What an absolute fool. Here are those Napa cabbages, and then as we get down the row, I've got red cabbage between the onions, and then kale, and then 2 more little red cabbages. It's time for potatoes. Potatoes. This is just thrilling stuff, okay? The potatoes are here. Look at them. Look at them. These guys are happy. These are happy tates. I don't know what's growing, okay? I don't know. I picked out a bunch of seed potatoes from the store. It's a russet. It's a golden. It's another kind. I don't know. I chose the ones that said that they store well. We planted these pretty early on. What month was it? I think we planted these in April. And this is a new row. This row didn't exist last year, so we added a new one, and we may still even add more as time goes on. We shall see. Excited to see how they turn out. Tomato, 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 tomato. Now we're starting to venture into hot mess territory. This row is a little chaotic. We've got a zucchini. I started carrot seeds. Here's a cucumber. And then as we go down the line, we have more cucumbers and then a ton of beans. Here's the thing. Because of the scarcity mindset that I had around feeling like I didn't have enough early producing food for the garden this year, I have overcompensated, and I have started a ton of new seeds for things that I'm not sure if we're going to have room to plant all of it. I direct sowed a bunch of stuff, and then a week later, I didn't see the seeds come up, and I was like, it didn't work. I've got to sow 18 more bean varieties. And that's what I did. And so now the seeds did come up, because that's what they do, and we've got 18 more bean plants on the way. I don't think this is a problem. But I say all that, whoa, hey, drive-by. I say all that because this row back here, we're going to try the Three Sisters method. We do have corn that we're growing. Oh, we have corn. And we're going to do the beans. And then for the tomatoes, we'll do the little ground cherry tomatoes. Plus the zucchini and the carrots and the lettuce and all the other crap. See, this is what I mean. It's a chaotic row back here. There's really not too much of a plan, but that's it. Back here, we've got peppers, mostly peppers, with a couple of, I don't know, 2 or 3 broccolis. For peppers, we've got King of the North, Picnic Red, Shishito. And then between them, I've got basil plants, marigold, and that's it. One of the important considerations when planning this garden was to avoid putting things in the same spot that they were last year. So that is where my friendly garden planning software comes in handy, because I can save the plan of what last year's garden looked like and then map out where everything was going to go this year. And so I'll show you what that looks like. This is growveg.com, the garden planner. So I can come here and open our last year's garden. Great, and I can see where everything was. So here is what the garden last year looked like, and this is actually built to scale. So our garden is about 40 feet by 40 feet, roughly, give or take. And you can see, so this is where the pond is, right? The chicken coop is back here. Here's the gate in the front. So last year, all of our tomatoes were here, cauliflower, peppers, here's the table and chairs, etc. So that's what last year looked like. Or I can open the 2026 garden. And when I select a vegetable or a fruit or a plant and I go to put it somewhere, wow, I guess those are huge because they'll show you how much space each one takes up. So I guess that's a massive plant. But if I had put an African wormwood here last year, it would actually highlight in red showing me, hey, you've done that before. So for example, see that? So tomato, I'm getting these red circles here because the plant is telling me, hey, you've put tomatoes here in the last year. So you can drag and drop whatever you want to add to your garden. You can, make them 12 plants, 11, and it'll show you. So for 15 feet and 7 inches, you can fit about 13 plants in this space. So this is really helpful for me when I know, okay, here's all I have to plant. Where will it go? And how many can I do per row in my actual space? Super cool stuff. It's so nice out. I just got a little lost in it. I watched a bird fly into its nest and just looked at all the leaves rustling. I just want to be out here all day long. I'm so lucky to work at home. I appreciate that so much. Not a day goes by that I'm not thankful for it. I just want to be playing outside all day, every day. Growing stuff, cultivating. I just love it. This is such a beautiful place. And we're just temporary stewards. It's like, what are you going to do with it, when you have the privilege of being here? Whew. Anyways, that's the garden so far. I think one of the joys and unique learnings about gardening is that every year is different. And I went into last year in a very different place. And this year is just not the same. And that's okay. This year I'll learn so many things I've already have. And also our energy and intention was just in different places. There was a lot of emphasis on the orchard. We planted over 10 different fruit and nut trees this year. That took a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of prep and a lot of planning and planting. And of course that meant that there are different things that, didn't have as early of a start in this garden. It's not to say we can't maximize. I'm not behind. I'm right on time. Those are the reminders. There's no schedule. You're not behind. Look at all these wins already. Hello, garlic. We didn't have that last year. Potatoes. We didn't have potatoes last year. So there's a lot of good that is happening. And I'm just happy to be here. All right. I gotta stop yapping. I gotta go inside and get to work. Happy gardening. Bye.